My son is sick. He has a terminal muscle wasting disease known as Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy. But we're trying not to let that define who he is. We had to get him genetically tested, do a blood test to see exactly what he had, if he was sick at all.
And then I kept calling the doctor, and the doctor wasn't calling back with the blood results. And I was out to lunch with my girlfriend, and I kept pushing the envelope of her calling, and she called me back while I was in the diner and told me that his CPK levels were over 20,000 and that he did in fact have Duchenne. I started screaming. I started to vomit. I had to run into the bathroom. And then my girlfriend just had to drive me home. I remember going outside and screaming to him, he has it, he has it.
Unable to comprehend what she was saying, all I kept hearing is that she was screaming that he has it. So I thought somebody either had taken the car, taken her bag, taken something. I didn't put two and two together. My son's gonna have a muscle deteriorating disease.
And they said the doctor wants to see you in her office, so we had to go to Robert Wood Johnson, and we met with her, and he said, I think he kind of blocked out when we met with her the first time, and she told us the things before the blood test. I think he blocked out a lot of what she had said, so now he wanted her to repeat it, and so she repeated it, and then the car ride home, it was just, I mean, it was just an utter disaster. I mean, we were on Route 18, the cars were flying by, and he stopped in the middle of the road, sobbing and banging. I thought he was going to break the windshield, and I wanted to get home because I wanted to see my son, and it was dark those next few days.
I don't know what was worse, hearing what he is sick with, or the fact that she reiterated time and time again, there's nothing we can do for him.
Right.
Go home and love your son. Don't tell me to love my son. I love my son enough. So the combination of the two is just, it'll stop your world on a dime. He had talked about clearing the garage out and putting the family in a car and then, you know, turning the car on and just all going together.
Because I still can't, but I don't think about it as much. My life without my son. Or my daughter's having to live through that.
Right.
So I said, let's just go together. You know, we all love each other. We'll go together. The girls will be asleep. Everyone will be asleep. We'll put them in the car. We'll clean up the garage, and we'll all go together. And he was on board for that.
Thank God. Family came that Friday night. It was my mother's birthday. It was her birthday weekend, and family came, and they knew better to take the kids out of the house. Thank God.
It was just black and white for me at that point. It really was. And so my cousin was calling and saying, "Oh, Karen, it's gonna be, you know, it'll be okay, and we're here for you." And I said, "It doesn't matter. We're not doing this. We're not gonna." And they could tell. I mean, my tone was just so not myself, and they all got in a panic, and they were calling whoever they could. You got to get there. You got to get there. We're afraid they're gonna, which we would have, but then, I mean, people just came swarming and literally were on suicide watch. They kind of had us on suicide watch. There was always, if someone left, someone was right behind them coming in.
Something Sunday into Monday just clicked. Maybe it was just me being so pissed, because it was very similar to what you do after you bury somebody. People just come and they bring you food and they,
that's exactly
they pamper you, and it didn't sit right with me that, no, my son's not dead yet. There's just no way. And Monday morning I turned to her and I said, we're not going out like this. We're not doing this.
Much to my dismay, because that was my plan. And he said, I gave you the weekend. I'll never forget it. He said, I gave you the weekend. That's it. Now we're going to fight. And I said, I can't. I can't. I lost my father when I was 13. I lost my mother when I was 30. I don't have fight in me. And he said, well, just follow me. And literally, that's what, even today, that's all I do is I follow him. Whatever he tells me, that's what I do.
And that's where Jar of Hope came about. We started Jar of Hope in my son's honor. I went out I figured, how am I going to get people to listen? My son, by the age of 9 to 12, can end up in a wheelchair. He'll lose his ability to walk. And if that happens, the science community says no matter what drugs come out, trials or not, they won't try them on these kids because their body's too ravaged with scar tissue. It'll be too tough to reverse it. That's it. The sands are literally seeping through the hourglass. I got to do this now. I'll be damned. It's gonna, if it does do what it wants to do, it's gonna have to go through me and everything that I'm gonna throw at it to allow it to happen to him.
There you go. What? Good job. Smile.
We've raised over $300,000 so far. In less, maybe 24, 25 months that we're doing this.
To fund the study.
And two trials have come out of my push-up campaigns, in that one is the ultrasound therapy, which was initially because I was talking about the cramping my son was having in his legs, to a chiropractor. I said, wait a second. I said, my son can't walk on his... You tell me it's because of spasms in his legs and this might help. We took the machine home. They gave me the machine. And then for 90 days, I applied this to their direction of doing it 7 minutes in each appendage for every other day. And in 90 days, he saw a 60% increase in motor function. He's the first one to have ever, in 184 years, get ultrasound therapy applied to his legs. And then in one of my other seminars, someone had asked me if I had ever heard of the hyperbaric chamber, which I had, being in the industry, but I never put two and two together. And they said to me that maybe you should seek out Dr. David Dornfeld. He's world-renowned in this study. He's got an office, amazingly enough, right here in Middletown, New Jersey. And after a couple hours, he said, all right, I don't know you. Let me talk to some, I gave him some references, and lo and behold, the next day he called me back and he said, I have a machine for you. Take it home and try and save your son's life. And since then, my son has been in it. His cardiac function has improved. His pulmonary function has improved. And as collaterally, his motor skills, motor function have improved. So from there, we said, I felt terrible. Putting him in this device is not easy. But after a while, we did this for months. I said, you know what, I got to figure out if this is actually worth the time, if his time is going to be short on this earth. I don't want it being in this machine if it's not doing anything for him. So we partnered with the University of Minnesota. Now we've kicked off the first ever hyperbaric chamber study with a Duchenne mouse model. We at Jar of Hope, and thank God for our supporters, are the only ones funding this treatment. Whoever sees this video,
help.
Go to jarofhope.org or call us, reach out to us, and any support, any ideas, because I know it may not come from me, but as I say in my seminars, it could be your next door neighbor's uncle's son that potentially may know something. And unless you talk about it, you never know. You just never know who might know something that can unlock this.